Okay, today's video, we're going to talk about pre-landers, what it is, and why you should use it for your campaigns to get a lot more results out of the campaigns and make basically a lot more money, okay? A pre-lander or pre-landing page is just simply a page that you send people to before they get to the real landing page, which asks users to buy. It kind of like preps them in a way to be prepared for what they see on the actual landing page, where you actually want them to either say yes or no to the call to action of buying that product or service, or even maybe even just turning into a lead. And you could have a step or two after that. But the reason why you use a pre-lander, just in short, before I go into the detail on different examples of where we used them to specifically make money in the past, in addition to what we could make without them before, the primary purpose for it is to be able to communicate something that you normally couldn't do on a so-called sales page on your website. That is an individual customer testimonial or account of the product that you have, where somebody talks about how they used your product, how they like it, and you could of course buy it over here, which you point them, that person, that account points them to the real landing page you want them to go to. Or it's a news article that somebody reads, that if they read the news article, it sells them on, if you will, going and checking out your product or service that's on a different landing page that you really want people to go to. Or it could simply be, you're sending them to a landing page that has a series of videos that show all the different kind of features, benefits, use cases, all of this different stuff of a product that you sell, to get the user primed and ready to go to a real landing page, which actually asks them to buy or not. And so what this does is it gets the user in the right frame of mind so that when they do actually get presented with your primary landing page or offer, if you will, they'll believe it at a higher rate and they'll be more enthusiastic and want to believe it at a higher rate than they normally would otherwise. People get confused and they say, well, ultimately, if I have to send them to this page and then they have to go through that page to get to the real page where the product is offered, how does that not going to make my conversion rates and the amount of money I can make from ad traffic go down? And the answer to that is, it's very simple. That is, if you send people to your offer page right away, you're going to seem biased as you're the one that tries to sell the product or service. You're the company. And users don't trust you. The pre-lander gets them in the right frame of mind, open to your offer, so that when you get to the page, they will listen to what you actually have to say. So it's the same pitch. You're not making the pitch any different. You're just putting that user in the right frame of mind so they'll actually be open and want to listen to what you actually have to say. And you have to get them to realize fully to be able to want to put down the amount of money that it costs for your product or service. So I'm going to go through, like I said, several examples of these different pre-landers that we've ran in the past, the results with it, and then similar to that, kind of like the different features that are on these pages to get them to work, how to get them to work in the first place. If you're selling any product or service, a pre-lander will work. I don't care what you're doing, whether you're selling medical services, selling automotive products, whether you're selling dentistry care. It doesn't matter. This will actually be able to get you more results in a large percentage of the cases. It's just a lot of people don't look at it because they have preconceived, they think that this is kind of like a cheesy way to do marketing. And users like being able to see information laid out in a non-commercial way to evaluate products and services. So you can either get with the program and, of course, get the extra money, or you can leave it to the side and try to do the professional way and just not get as many sales. What it mostly does, though, as a final thing before I get into the content, what it mainly does for you is gives you the ability to run display advertising. And instead of like dipping into people that are ready to buy outright, which pre-landers can help that out as well, but it gets somebody you can interrupt physically, that you could then turn into a customer where you couldn't get that to work otherwise. Why? Because people want to know things that will make them thinner or make them smarter or get them the relationship that they want. And so, but what they don't want to do is they don't want to listen to a company that offers a solution because they don't believe them. The pre-lander gets them in the right state of mind to believe what it is that your product says it does, so they'll actually go ahead and buy it. Obviously it can be used for malintent to get people to buy crap that doesn't work, but if you have something that works, this is a more effective way to interrupt somebody that's reading a news article or on social media to get them into the right frame of mind so they will be open to your product or service. So with that said, there are 3 major types of pre-landing pages, as I mentioned before. There's the info style page, which is you're going to have a landing page that's just primarily there to have video and image content, and maybe could even be case studies, stuff like that just sell product or service, but without looking like that you're asking for a sale necessarily straight out. It's just focused on giving that user literally a metric ton of information about a product or service that you sell, case studies, side-by-side product comparisons, all of this stuff. And with the key thing here being it's all done in an informal a way that informs the user, stuff that and entertains the user at the same time, that they're happy with looking at because it's all very interesting. But through absorbing that information, now when you get them in the right state of mind, so when they do go to buy, they know a lot about your product or service. Whereas if you try to ask them to buy and then gave them the information, they would go and say F you, go someplace else. Whereas if you led with the information, you get more sales per unit traffic. So there's info style landing pages, article style landing pages, where you literally just drive people to an article that talks about your product or service, and like I said, tries to sell them and going and checking out a real landing page you want them to go to. And then there's the testimonial style lander, which looks like a personal blog or something like that. And with that said, the main drawback to using these article style landers, before I give you specific examples of where we used these before, so you can understand how you're going to be able to use these for your own self, even though these will increase ROI in a lot of cases 2-3 times the ROI that you would have had otherwise, or even 5 times the ROI that you had otherwise, and more importantly, put you in position to run display traffic to your website and actually get it to work, which that can scale your business like no other if you can find the formula. Ad networks don't like them. You can run, namely Google, Facebook, and Bing, other ad networks that you can run traffic through, which a lot of people don't really think about if they have a traditional business, running ads up through Taboola or Outbrain or other native advertising networks like MGCID, or even pop-up ad networks where you can buy pop-ups. It's still a thing nowadays. Reason why you run those is because you can run a pre-lander and they don't give a crap that you're using a pre-lander to a degree, to a certain sense. If you start running article style landers and you say Oprah just found this product and it was amazing, and you go to that level with it, which by the way works very, very well. Even like Taboola, Outbrain have a problem with that. Whereas though still there's other networks like the pop-up networks, they don't give a rat's ass whether you run that or not. So you can go ahead and do that. But the more mainstream the ad network, the stricter they are on these pre-lander style landing pages, because they call it clickbait or misrepresentation. So don't shut down the idea of running pre-landers on Google and Facebook and Bing. You're not always going to get them approved, and you may have to do some jiggering around to get it to work. But with that said, case studies, okay. So I talked about how we have several examples of we've used this in the past, so you know how to use it. So for the info style landing page type, like I talked about first here, we sold water filters using a pre-lander page. So in the water filter world, this isn't a $20 broom where you can basically effectively say, here's the broom, here's, kind of how it's used. Here's what it looks like. Do you want to buy it or not? A pre-style landing page isn't needed in that case. However, if you're selling a $500 water filter or $1,000 water filter, it's kind of a big decision. You will often be better off just having one pre-lander page you take them to that shows how well this thing does at filtering and how well it does filtering compared to the competition's product and why it filters so well, the technology that goes into it, that's revolutionary technology, and stuff that somebody that is open to liking the idea of being healthy and drinking clean water is going to want to look at because it's entertaining. And at the same time, you're basically entraining them into understanding about your product without them realizing they're being sold. And then the idea is, though, at the end of the landing page, you have a link to your actual landing page that you want them to go to that sells the product directly to them. That is, here's the cost, you get this warranty, that kind of thing. So in a situation like that, a pre-lander is almost completely crucial to get the most money out of it, whether you're talking about Google search ads or display ads that you're running on Facebook or any other place, because it's such a technical sell. You got to be able to lead with all that information. Otherwise, when you ask them to buy, they're just not going to have enough surety about your product to actually go through with the purchase. Whereas the longer you get their attention and explain and talk about how good this product that you're selling is, the more likely they are to buy. And so your goal with the pre-lander is just to get them to stay on the page enough time to when they actually are prompted to buy eventually, they're highly apt to buy. If I've spent 20 minutes reading about this damn water filter, I am probably pretty inclined to go ahead and buy that water filter at that point, or at least a reasonably high chance at that point in time. Versus if you just asked them to buy right away, and you were getting them to stay on your page for a couple minutes, now its chances aren't good they're going to be able to, you're going to get them to buy, even if, by the way, they were already looking to buy a water filter, which, by the way, in that particular situation with the water filter company that we were working with, the Google search traffic, I told the client, you need a pre-lander style page here because you're expecting a person, even though they're looking for a water filter, to buy from you without really understanding completely why your product is significant, how it works, and the features tied to it. That is, it alkalizes the water, it structures the water, why these things are important. You need to have a truckload of information. You just offer them up front before you even ask them to buy. So when you do ask them to buy, they're going to buy at a high enough rate that the ad traffic is going to pay for itself. That's what we did, and that's what kind of results we got. The results that we got for the water filter company was over 500% ROI, which is good enough in that particular space off of the Google search ads, and also would run display ads for people that have been to the direct competitor's website that sell a product in the same price range as well. And started to dabble with a little bit with Facebook ads as well, even though that wasn't quite as successful. But that's one perfect example of where a pre-lander is going to make you more money, whereas before, without the pre-lander, campaign wasn't profitable at all. We were talking about a 100% ROI. It literally made that much difference between going from no pre-lander to having a pre-lander on the Google search ad ROI that we were getting, going from 100 to 200% to 500% plus, or 500 to 600% in that range. So that's one perfect example of how you use a pre-lander. Now, beyond that, you also have the article style lander, which in the medical space, this works fantastic, but it could work in anything to do with supplements or, in a ton of different markets, really. But what we did here is this doctor had a treatment for elbow pain that, helped the user fix their elbow without having to do surgery, all this other stuff. And so what we did was just did an article style lander that says, did you realize that you can, basically fix your tennis elbow problem that you have without surgery? And then you get to an article style lander, and then they read all about that. By the end of the article, it asks them, do you, if you're, the doctor that's pioneers in this, he's over here, do you want to inquire? And then that's the funnel. With that, we got a 1,200% plus ROI from the ad traffic that we were generating for that. through Google Ads for anybody looking for elbow pain related stuff in his area. We didn't run a nationwide campaign because the goal was to get him into his local office, but worked obviously really, really well. And then furthermore, we ran Facebook ads to people that were over a certain age demographic, and it also worked really, really well. Similarly as well, namely in that particular case, it was able to work okay because there's enough people with that type of problem. At least 0.1% of the population had that problem. So if we're just interrupting people randomly within a geographic area, there's a high enough percentage of people that would want it, if you will, that we can make that the cost of running ads basically more broadly like that and still have it pay off. So the ROI wasn't as good as somebody coming from Google because the person on Google already knew that they were looking for ideas, because we would target people like, how do you fix tennis elbow and stuff like that, and then run that article style lander there, driving people to the pre-lander with the article style like I talked about. That's a great way to make money in a lot of different niches. So on Google search ads, a lot of people think that they're going to just target like, elbow fixing doctor, and then that's it. But really, they could just had keywords like how to fix elbow pain and then have that article style lander and greatly expand how much you can make in a certain market on Google monetizing those info terms. And then furthermore, that it's a good chance you could go ahead and run ads on Facebook, on Google Display Network, and so forth, targeting people, assuming it's a broad enough market, if you will, and really pump the numbers up, like get more business so you can know what to do with. Or even if it isn't a really something that everybody out there kind of needs, you can run Google Display Network ads targeting people that have been to informational websites about how to fix what your product or service does or fixes. You could also run the same kind of ads on YouTube when people are looking for information there on how to fix a problem that your product or service fixes. And that article style lander is a much better way to go because they don't have their guard up when they actually see the landing page and furthermore the ad. Because on the ad, you can actually just not, it's a blind ad as they call it, where you're not actually talking about buying anything. You're just saying there's great information over here, and that's where the pre-lander really works. And so by time they realize you're selling them something, they already know why they want it. And actually, most of the time, they're not even going to realize, obviously, your article style lander was made by you. And so, therefore, that's also why it gives you a good ROI on the traffic you get to your site through the pre-lander, because it looks like you're recommended. But it doesn't just work because of that. Your article style lander, by the way, you put that page on a website. If they click the logo to go to the homepage, you can have that homepage basically look like the same lander, or you could say like, this site's under construction, so people wouldn't realize it's not a full website that's got a lot of other articles. Those are your main options there, but that's your article style lander, okay, and how you get that to work. Now we have the testimonial style lander. Okay, we did this for an anti-acne product before, and what that is what you do is you make something that looks like a personal blog. Like some guy has a blog on his website and he just blogs about crap. And one of the blogs was, oh, I tried this anti-acne product. It actually worked really good for me. I tried a bunch. They sucked. But this particular one here, it actually was pretty good. And, you can find it here. That's the formula, if you will, for a typical testimonial style pre-lander page. Why this obviously works is it looks like an endorsement, and so the person doesn't think they're being sold anything. They just got a recommendation from somebody who doesn't have any incentive to lie, okay? And you see affiliates in the affiliate marketing world using these as like the main staple of what they use to make money, other than the article style landers. Why? Because they can get that article to rank if you type in like, Nutrisystems reviews, and then it'll be like my review of Nutrisystems, and then they'll get to that page and then read it and be like, oh, it was actually pretty good, and there's 10% off if you use this link, and then boom, they have a affiliate commission they can get from that. But regular businesses don't think about also using the same formula that crushes it in the affiliate marketing space. because they think it's kind of sleazy or they don't know about it or don't think about it or whatever. You use this for your own business. There's a whole world of different advertising places where you can advertise that wouldn't work without that. That if you set up a page like that and then drive traffic at it, it will work. And all you got to do is just have one of these that hits, and it can completely fundamentally change the economics of your business once you have something like this going for your business already. Or have a funnel like this going for your business in addition to like the search engine ads that you're running and so forth. So that's one example. And in that case, we had a 300% ROI driving traffic from Google Display Network, just the Taboola ads, running ads through Facebook, running ads a bunch of different places. Those are the three main places that we would run ads. 300% ROI in that particular space in cosmetics and stuff like that's already good because the margins on that stuff is really high, by the way. But anyway, that's a perfect example of how you can use a testimonial style pre-landing page to not only just get a better return on top of what you're having, because you could just test using this funnel instead of, funneling them into a pre-lander and then from there getting them to go to your landing page. But more importantly, it gets channels that just simply would have never worked to work. That's by far, by and large, the more important thing out of everything I'm saying on this video. That's more important than getting campaigns that you do already have to work better. Why? Because display campaigns can scale infinitely once you figure out a funnel and a landing page that will work and an offer that will work. So with that said, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully that made a lot of sense. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment or question on this channel, usually within a couple of days' time. And usually it's been within 24 hours lately. I can get back to all of our viewers, any questions that they have a topic at hand. Or, by the way, if you have any other ad-related question, I'm more than happy to be able to answer questions about that using my last 10 years of ad management experience at Guarantee PPC as a thank you for just helping and watching the channel and helping the channel grow. So you can ask me anything you want in the comment section. With that said, if you are looking for the best source of information on how to make money with ads online, this is the channel you want to subscribe to, as this information comes straight from the source, coming from somebody who 40 hours a week just does ad strategy for clients to figure out what works and what doesn't work on dozens of ad accounts that we're constantly running split tests on. Most of the information, and that is 99+% of the information you find online about how to run ads, it's not coming from people who don't run ads. They sell courses, they don't actually run the ads themselves. Run an agency, they don't actually run the ads themselves. It's second, third, fourth hand information. So if you're serious about making money online, running ads for your business, making millions of dollars a year doing it, this is the information you want, and you want to be able to subscribe now as a result. By the way, I also have a blog over at guaranteeppc.com/blog where you can find other written information for myself, which if you like my channel, you'll like my blog even more because there's specific step-by-step systems there that we use to make money with ads for different clients that we work with. And with that, with screenshots, with everything you need to be able to make money, I highly encourage you to check that out, information out as well if you like the channel. That said, I run a PPC agency here named Guarantee PPC. We run all online ads for clients that are out, all the channels, Facebook, Taboola, all the places you can run ads online. We do not charge our clients any fees until we can make them more profit from their ads. That is, more sales at the same ad spend they're spending now. And we got to make them more money than what our fee is before we're eligible to be able to pick up any kind of fee at all or take any fee at all from our clients. And so with that, if you want to see if we can work together in a similar kind of way where we working purely on a contingency basis, you can reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com. I'll be more than happy to look over your stuff. We don't take on just any client. We got to know after looking at our clients, the opportunity at hand that we can get great results on something before we'll agree to take a client on. But if you want to see if we can work together and how much results we could get, reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com. I'd be more than happy to look over your stuff and get you an estimate of how much we could actually get for you if we can get you some results. That aside, we also have campaign templates available. If you don't want us to manage your ads for you, which we do, that's our main bread and butter, but if we've worked in your niche market before, and we've worked in over 100 different niche markets in the past, We can sell you the ad templates and landing page templates and campaign templates that work for your niche market that many times we spent years to develop and millions of dollars worth of ad spend to get to the end results that works the best for your market in a different geographic area. And you can just copy paste everything we did into your account and get the same results for yourself. As long as you're in a different geographic area than our past or current client, you can use the same stuff in your geographic area and there's no harm, no foul there. Of which, the chances are high, like I said, that we've worked in your niche market before. So you should definitely reach out to me and see if you can't just shortcut your way to success using the template that we've already developed for your market. We've got people using these templates to start other businesses up, whether that be e-commerce businesses that they wanted to start and be successful right away, selling products in their country, whereas our client is in another country, or they were generating leads and they wanted to start a lead generation business where they were selling leads to people in a certain niche area, starting with a campaign that generates leads at a certain cost that they know will be effective. So anyway, if you're interested in an opportunity like that as well, you can also reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com. But I'll wrap everything up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on my next video where we have another great strategy for you then. See you later.